My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Aethermancer. Time to go in again on Mythic difficulty, and what are we going to be using as our starting beast today? I kind of want to just go by lack of worthiness, which means that we'll be taking the Hug Monster. Or Starspawn. Or Mephisto. Okay. I'm going to go with the Ooze. We'll explore it in just a second, obviously. First, let me do the Hug. The huge monster almost typed. Hug Monster. Putrid Odor is your trait. On action, you apply 2 poison to yourself, and whenever poison triggers on this monster, enemies also take damage from it. You've also got 2 Corruption Cleanse. The types are Poison, Tank, and Affliction, and as you might imagine, your elemental types are Earth and Water. Toxic Slash, for a single Earth, we do 2x4 Earth damage to target enemy, and apply 2 poison to that same target enemy, and then finally, Healing Slime, the dedicated support action, heals all allies for 3x6. That's a big heal! And also applies 2 poison to all allies, makes sense. So, Poison, Tank, Affliction, Earth, Water. I don't think a Mandragora overlap with that sounds particularly good to me. Cold Heart as Critical Purge and Sidekick. We are going to need control over Purge and Poise somehow. Mephisto with Affliction and Terror, as well as the key trait Schadenfreude. Aura, the first ally and the first enemy to use a action each turn, get 2 Terror or 2 Burn applied to them. So that's one part of it, that's the Aura. And then also, this monster gains +1 damage and 6% evasion for every 10 debuff stacks amongst all monsters in combat. Considering the fact that Poison is a debuff, this gives us the ability to poison the entire field. Also, your typing elements. Oh no, your Fire Water. I guess I'm looking for Fire Wind, ideally. Whenever you apply burn stacks, Orophyll, Dialer. I mean, I think I'm supposed to take Mephisto here. I don't know about this. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Of course, if you would like your nickname to be one of the names that is pulled into the game to rename one of the monsters for, there's a link in the top of the description down below. Or, not the top of the description down below. I usually put the game up first. But my patrons down there, the folk in the 4th wall tier, get to break the 4th wall by being in the game themselves. Subtle little plug. Look, you gotta do it every so often. Ah, the pilgrimage path. I must have been here 1,000 times. The problem is, like, the only way that I know to give, like, a grandmother a voice is, like, an old and frail kind of voice, but, like, that's clearly a big, beefy grandma. Before the Void opened, did you make pilgrimage to the Holy City often?
Why, of course. Best way to exercise and keep my body in shape. I used to make the trip to Vigil back to my restaurant every morning before work. And now there's even more monsters to beat up. Just as I was getting bored.
Oh, just straight up random experience. Look, let's go Hug Monster first. Immediate level up. Oh, disgusting. Fatal Upkeep. Aura. Debuffs deal 4 more damage against enemies. I really like the idea of that. Because we're going to be burning all of our enemies, and we're going to be applying Affliction, and we're going to be applying Terror, and Poison. Like, we've got a lot of debuffs on our enemies. I will say, however, Taunt is also pretty interesting for the unit that I am going to want to make my tank. On Retaliate, Shield Cell for 4. If this trace... On Retaliate, Shield Cell for 4. So that's actually really good as well, having a Retaliate trigger inbuilt, because you are going to retaliate anytime you deal poison damage to yourself. Shield self for 4. If this trait triggers 3 times, cleanse 3 corruption from self. I'm going to take Fatal Upkeep first. I hope to see the other one come back around again, though. Ooh, Earth Elemental. Interesting. That's Hug Monster again. Immediate level up to level 2 worthiness. Now we've got poison damage +1 and another experience. Hell yeah. I mean, this one's through and through. You focus on the Cockatrice first. Especially when we have Mephisto who can actually stagger on the first turn. Well, if I generated fire, I could stagger on the first turn. Good lord. I can Toxic Slash on the top line because it just applies poison to my character who likes having poison applied to him. Turn start, I take poison damage and... Ridiculous! Did you see the damage that did? I guess because that unit also took poison damage from our Retaliate, and then also its own poison damage and its own burn damage, and all of... Not all of those were increased by 4, but the latter two, at the very least, were increased by 4. Ignite takes him down. I'm very glad that we've got some Corruption Cleanse, because it's clear we're going to be getting a decent amount of it. Skull. Oh! Skull. When this monster applies a debuff to an enemy, 15% chance to apply another stack of the same debuff. I mean, yeah, this is exactly what I want on my characters. I wonder if Mephisto wears it better, though. Because, like, it'll only increase poison debuffs, at the moment at least, on the Hug Monster. Ugh, we never generate fire. I mean, I'm not going to pass up Toxic Slash ever. Oh no, the enemy cleared their own debuffs. How dare they? Hell yeah. Igniting that enemy not only staggers them, but it also... not only staggers them and applies burn, but it applies the burn before the stagger is registered, and burn does damage on stagger as well. I wonder if Cockatrice would be a good completion for this party. It's a fire and wind character. I probably don't need a second tank. It does decent damage, though. It's also got, importantly, retaliate triggers. Interesting. Because if we're going to be throwing out a bunch of debuffs, it feels like we will trigger those retaliates. Curious. Very curious. Sick. Yeah, we do a huge amount of damage at the moment. We just don't, can't take that much. With a bit of a glass cannon at the moment. Oh. Oh, disgusting. Drift Guard shields self for 2x6 and applies redirect to self, but there's also Viral Bloom, a free action which triggers poison on all monsters. Note, triggering poison on a hug monster is how we get the enemies to take our damage. That's huge. Then Mephisto. Rapid Fire. Whenever an enemy attacks or gets it, whenever an enemy gets attacked for the second time in the same burn, triggers burn on them. Triggers burn on them rather. Terror application +1. Study a turn. Generate wild ether. No. Healthy cleanse. That'd be really good for obviously healthily cleansing and things like that. But I suspect that given putrid odor dealing damage to the enemy based on the poison that the hug monster has, maybe we want to keep him poisoned. There's also obviously reroll skill. I'm leaning either healthy cleanse or reroll here. I mean, an additional trigger of burn is really good because if I have it on them, that's just 4 additional damage for each trigger, but that's only the second time it happens every turn. I want things that can trigger more commonly than that, frankly. Especially because without Sidekick, I'm not going to be attacking them that many times. Especially because Putrid Odor doesn't look like it's an attack. It says whenever poison triggers on this monster's enemies also take damage from it. So if that's not an attack, we can't just guarantee that every turn we get a second attack. I'm going to reroll. Rising Fire. Aura. Whenever burn triggers on an enemy, apply burn to the enemy with the lowest amount of burn. Yes, please. Burn it all. Allies gain 5% crit and healing, and 5% crit and evasion, and also get +1 on all healing. Done by Slime. Sick. Sadly, there appears to be no secret area. Let's go to the Envoy. I'd like to have a Aethermancer ability, please. So I'm looking for wind. Oh, wow. I was about to say, I'm looking for wind coverage and shielding. Anyway, there's Jazzy. Earth, wind, and shielding. Oh, we also have the alt version. The shifted version. With different abilities. Roar, redirect self, shield self. Oh, right, this is making you much more of a direct tank. Got it. Maybe. Mechatonchorus, Age, Weakness, and Summon. Fire and Wind. Naga with its shifted ability as well. What's its shifted? When this monster has 2 or more power, it evades the first hit. So all I have to do is get you some power to start with, and then immediately you are just dodging things. That's pretty good. Also, you have a retaliate trigger there. Triggers a 2x1 earth fire attack against the enemy. So as long as I stack power on you, obviously that becomes ridiculous. But also it's an inbuilt retaliate trigger. So as long as I get a debuff on you, you'll trigger that. We could get you to attack a lot of times per turn with that inbuilt trigger. Reggie, whenever whenever this monster applies 1 or more burn stacks to an enemy, break a poise on them. Sadly, Schadenfreude is already managing most of our burn. I really need Purge as well. God, I don't know about any of this. I guess I'm leaning one of the shifted, either Naga or Jazzy. I guess for elemental coverage, we'll take Jazzy. Oh wow, Burning Desire. A burn shield trait. For every 5 burn applied to enemies, shield all allies for 4. I mean, that's exactly the kind of direction I'm trying to go right now. Give him burn, let that burn propagate that burn again, do it again. Many monsterkin have walked this path. It holds important religious meaning to them. Especially the ones who still believe, that Terrastay was created by the monster deities, and that Sol was nothing but a deceiver. In the University of Aquelius, both versions of world history are taught and debated. Did Sol create Terrastay, or was it the monster deities? Who created whom? We Aethermancers are the sole keepers of the one truth, of course, and it shall ever only be known to us. Pick an artifact, shielding dust or antidote flask. I feel like I'm gonna want the shielding dust a little bit more. There it is. Knew it had to be around here.
What is Torment's blessing, and what does it do?
It upgrades and curses equipment.
Correct. It is the result of Commander Torment's experiments with the dark arts.
To hold back... Oh, it was Commander Torment? Hang on, is Fomalhault his first name, or was it to hold back Fomalhault?
Through endless tampering with ether and water, Commander Torment was eventually able to boost its potency at the cost of unavoidable side effects. He managed to transfuse its modifications into everything submerged within. At first, he tried boosting his soldiers, quickly realizing that one should not tamper with the ethereal structure of living beings, to their loss. But their equipment, however, yielded the results that he anticipated, boosting their capabilities with neglectable side effects to the wearer. All in a desperate attempt by the fortress's final commander to defend the holy city of Vigil. Here's your reward. I look forward to our next encounter.
As do I. So then, I'm going to give more health to the Hug Monster, because I'm going to stack a bunch of poison on you, so I need you to be able to take all of that poison, survive, and then deal damage to my enemies based on the amount of it, please. Ideally, I focus on Putzel first. I'm pretty sure I have a water hit I can do here. Yeah, we do. Mephisto has a water hit. Yeah, we go. Get suddenly splashed. I believe with the 4 additional damage, that causes Tatzelworm to take him out. Oh, hell yeah, the enemy got burns. Now all I have to do is trigger those, and then the burn propagates to another unit. Why is viral... Oh, I'm triggering the poison on the enemy who is also dealing damage back to me. Right, they have a hug monster. I forgot about that for a second. Very confused. I will take out their Huggy Boy. Let's get a wee bit more burn out there. Oh, that triggers sidekick. I've even got the viral bloom to go off so that I can poison you. Perfect. I really want to see another aura level up on Hug Monster here. Obviously a little while away yet, but feels like the next big pivot. Oh, that's a Mandragora hiding up there. Fine, I'll let it do it. Oh, come on, this is rude. They've got an enemy who wants to poison us in that Tuttle Worm. You're poisoning the wrong target, buddy. I do feel like maybe I should throw down shielding dust here, to be honest. I'll roar. Redirect a little of the pain away. Oof. Oh, no, they both used Earth's attack and they have Earth deals poison to all aura. Oh, it's one of the worst auras. I'm gonna use Viral Bloom literally just to take out theirs. Get him. Huge help that was. Now, I'm not letting you get a bunch of regen there on the bottom line either, thank you. I do think I'm probably best served by hitting a healing slam up now. Ignite that does not stagger. But we can just finish up with the poison. Whee! Two new moves after the next fight. Yeah, I don't think I've missed anything. If I missed anything down to the south there, like in the small unshaded area, it would be in the Lurkers area, and I don't think there's anything in the Lurkers area except for the Lurker. Oh, double shifted Ortrus fight. Wacky. I should definitely take out one of them first. They're, pretty terrifying. That's a lot of sidekick on the board at the moment as well. Hey, yikes. Look, two of you are already naturally attacking the bottom line. I wonder if I should roar. I can ignite this enemy because it's going to trigger the burn. This is using energy. On triggering that burn, it also propagates it to another unit, who then is also about to attack. Unfortunately, they're not using energy, so they're not going to propagate it further. Viral Bloom means the front Authoress ends up dying before it gets to use its action because it's not healing. So then I can send more damage elsewhere. I'm so looking for anything else that says when you apply burn ... because that is exactly our most common trigger at the moment. Of course, when you apply affliction or debuffs or all those kinds of things will also work off of burn. Mephisto and Chassis. Mephisto gets cleanse 3 debuffs from all allies. Cleanses 1 corruption from all allies on first usage combat. It's a free action. Yeah. I don't really want to be cleansing them. I don't have any benefit for cleansing them at the moment. Keeping a hold of them will give me a way to benefit as well later. There is Burn Wave here. 3x4 fire damage against all enemies. Apply 3 burn to all enemies. And yeah, honestly, just something to get burn on all enemies, I think, is a great idea. I also think Volcanic Guard is a really good option here as well. Shields up 2x7 as well as gives self a retaliate attack. Ooh. Eloise the Domovoid does make sense. I mean, obviously Medusa makes sense here. I'm intentionally going to elect not to take this. Should I really elect not to take this in a run where, like, I'm doing all of the things that she likes? On Retaliate, she cleanses a debuff from herself. For every 4 debuffs cleansed from herself, she triggers an attack against all enemies and applies Affliction to each enemy. That Affliction also including additional burn. So who would you even be replacing in my party? How about that? Let's start there. It feels like it'd have to be Jazzy, but Jazzy's got Burning Desire, which is pretty useful. Poison Tank Affliction, Affliction Terror Burn, and then, oh god, no. Look, it's offered me exactly who I want here. Come along, Medusa. You're too right for this party not to take. Toxic Earth. On Earth action from any ally, which, hang on, let me make sure. I do have those, obviously, on Hug Monster. On Earth action from any ally, applies poison to each enemy. There's also Shared Torment. Whenever a debuff stack is applied to this monster, apply the same debuff to a random ally or enemy. I like that especially. Specifically because Medusa not only starts with 3 afflictions, so that immediately gets given to the enemy, immediately starting to trigger some stuff, but also Medusa, you can apply 3 poison to yourself. You can have poison applied to you by the other allies. If you act first in the round, you get 2 terror or 2 burn, which you then also immediately give to an enemy. There's a lot of ways to overlap these for huge value. Viral Bloom Guard. Shield self for 2x7. Apply redirect to self. On Retaliate, trigger poison on all enemies. I mean, yeah, you might be a much better tank than Hug Monster was supposed to be. Just because you already have a Retaliate built in that's cleansing debuffs from you. Yeah, you take Viral Bloom Guard. 25% chance at the end of each fight to gain an additional experience on one of my monsters. I kind of always bias towards that. Ooh. There's a Void Meteorite. Who's going to be basic attacking a lot of the time? Currently, it's been Mephisto. I have no wind coverage at all. Yeah, it's going to be Mephisto, Fire. Affinity, thank you. I can't believe none of those even leapt at me. Let us go, Tatzel. I should also make sure that Medusa is commonly the first person to act on my side. Because she gets the burn and then gives the burn. That's a Lamentation of Woes immediately on turn 1. You gotta love that. Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna Bloom Guard. Oh my god, all of the retaliations we just triggered. Also this basic attack because then their Hug Monster will start the round, get poisoned. That poison is earth damage, so it staggers the enemy, preventing them from attacking. And now the end is near. Yep, literally start of turn, we take enough poison damage to take him down. Hug Monster's next aura is up. On action, if the action applied debuffs to enemies, apply those debuffs another time to the enemies and self. Sick. Oh, and a skill reroll. Those are useful. Care package. Out here. 5 gold and 3 corruption cleanse from allies. Sick. That's not a shifted wallop, is it? No, it's not. I mean, I kind of want to just throw Healing Slime down to get some poison on all allies, but that'll happen eventually. I don't need to rush there. Also, now we will set up that Warpetinger to get staggered at the start of... Well, I say at the start of this turn, at the end of this turn. Never mind, it is dead. It's never going to get staggered. It's impervious to stagger now. We accidentally buffed the enemy. Viral Bloom as a free action kills an enemy. I'm gonna Healing Slime for fun. Get a lot of poison, give a lot of poison. You know, fun. Endure. First time I use it each battle. Cleanses corruption from allies. Oops. At turn start, poison kills the enemy. Oh, I didn't even get Lament Any Woes there. I always end up with too many monster souls. Sometimes I end up with too many monster souls, mind. I have been in a situation where I just suddenly need a couple more, so maybe I'll keep it around here. Debuffs do more. If action applied, debuffs, good, good. Rising Fire, good, good. Shared Torment, good. Okay, I don't need to go to the Witch. Let's actually hit up a merchant. Now I've upgraded the merchant so much. They have so many discounts and so many additional items in store. I should be able to go there and get some use out of it. And also leave with enough money to still get some use out of the merchant at the very end. Skull, obviously. 20% chance when applying a debuff to an enemy, apply another stack of the same debuff. Meteorite on support action. Convert a random ether into wild ether and shield self 2. I also really like that on Hug Monster. Skull for Medusa. I didn't intend to buy that ocarina, so I'm gonna buy and scrap it immediately. Oops. I mean, I'm going to take the Aethermancer Whip. Just having access to some Purge is really good. It's not like a thing that I really have much access to at all. I'm really going to need things that, you know, take my current effects and then also use them to disable enemies. I'm very good at killing. I'm not especially good at avoiding damage. Yeah, it's a bunch of debuffs on all of us. I mean, Mephisto's damage is at least getting higher. I'm gonna drop a shielding dust here, because everyone's gonna take some damage this round. Oh wow, our evasion is high enough that it just can't hit Mephisto. I mean, being able to use Viral Bloom Guard this turn would be great. Just an additional retaliate for our bottom line there. Also, apply all of your debuffs to my unit who loves to be debuffed, please. And then she just immediately applies them right back to you. Thrilled about the enemy's intent to guard here. Oh, yeah, I need to take an opportunity to throw Cleansing Strike wherever available. Also causes Lamentation Woes. Unfortunately, the enemy is going to be able to volcanic guard, so I need to do things that don't trigger retaliate if possible. We do a lot of damage very quickly. That much is incredible. The rest is a little terrifying. I mean, Viral Bloom Guard as well as the Healing Slime should pretty comfortably get us there. Oh no. I was figuring they weren't going to be able to hit Mephisto back because of the whole, Oof. Because of the thing that Mephisto has. The evasion. Terror application +1 on Mephisto there, and everyone levels up. Let's look at Mephisto and Deuce's aura upgrades first. Proliferate. This sounds good. Whenever this monster applies a debuff, deal a 4 earth/water damage hit to the enemy and apply 1 poison to them. Triggers up to once per enemy per round. If it didn't have that last line, it would be incredible. I mean, it's still fine. It's just Mephisto doesn't necessarily apply a debuff to the entire floor. Whenever an enemy gets attacked for the second time in the turn, triggers burn on them. Lamentation of Woes is an attack, so we can start getting towards this area being stupid. There's also Shared Torment. Whenever a debuff stack is applied to this monster, apply the same debuff to a random ally or enemy. Obviously pretty ridiculous. I want to go Rapid Fire specifically because it causes 2 Lamentations of Woe to then spread a bunch more burn. As well as triggering the burn, it spreads the burn at the same time. Peak Performance. Whenever an ally reaches 4 debuff stacks, applies power and shields them for 4. Triggers up to once per monster per combat. That's only once per monster per combat, way too low. Blind. Enemies with terror have a 15% chance to miss each hit. Whenever an enemy misses a hit, apply terror to them. I'm going to reroll. Cosmic Torment. For every 8 debuffs applied to allies, generate Wild Ether. You know what we suck at doing? Getting energy. Smog. Wow. Oh, what is going on here? Smog. This is a free action. 1 earth. Free action. Apply 2 poison to all monsters. I mean, it's debuffing my allies. It's exactly what I want. Slime Volley, 3x3 earth water against all enemies. Applies 3 poison to all enemies and self. Generates an ether or reactive shield. Shields target ally for 2x7. On retaliate, applies 4 affliction to the enemy and 2 affliction to this monster. That's also pretty cool, but Smog is so energy efficient. 2 poison to all monsters is most of the way towards Cosmic Torment. Like, it's 3/4 of a wild ether. And that's assuming I don't have a way to just, increase all poison application by 1 or something like that, and then just get straight there. We now have 28 left over. I'll take this into the next merchant. Chain. Single target attack if the enemies have 5 or more ether. Purge an ether. Burn damage +1. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it more than the skulls. On single target attack, apply weakness. Also pretty cool, but I don't like it more than skulls. Deck of cards. Consume all your ether and then generate 7 random ether. Oh, Chromatic Scroll. I can't not take that because I'm garbage at applying Poise Break. and having a little additional access to that should be really helpful. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Aethermancer. We'll go into the next area in the Forbidden Fortress in the next episode. Until then, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. A special thanks this episode to Cold Heart, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.